make them get sick. I'm over it. I'm really glad that it's time to go. I'm so tired of being cold. Psych! I've been out here for 2 days in the cold, rainy, wet woods, and my homemade cough syrup has been doing me some justice. If you want the recipe, please let me know, and I'll do a video on it. But, hey y'all, it's your girl Pork Chop, and welcome back to Daydreaming in the Garden. If you are new here, let me explain what we do. This is where we take hard to talk about topics and talk about them in a not so hard to talk about way. We venture on healing, we talk about trauma and how it affects us, and we even go into deep dives with some of the reasons mental health has such a hold on us as it does. Now, that was me showing you my tent and my little setup with my little kitchen. We're gonna go ahead and go out here and get us some air because this little tent is small. I need to stretch these legs, baby, because that tent is 5'2". I am 5'6". So, if you are short, this is a great tent for you. But as for me and my legs, baby, we can't do it. Now, anyway, today's topic is going to be on letting go. I've come to realize that in the healing journey, letting go is a really big and really hard process of healing. And as we talk about it, you're going to watch me make my coffee for the morning. I went to the dollar store that was not too far from the campground. I got me some instant coffee because I just didn't want to pay $5 for a cup of coffee for the next 3 days. So here we are. Now, when it comes to letting go can be one of those things that is so hard to do, especially when it's somebody that you love, when it's somebody that you really have a connection with, but in some way, whether it's a friendship, romantic relationship, or family member, it seems as though that they are toxic for you, and that can be detrimental to not only your health and your goals throughout life, but also your just mental well-being. If you're just joining me, let me go ahead and tell you that this is day 3 of my what was supposed to be a 2-day camping trip, but I actually decided to stay over an extra day, so here we are. I went ahead and wiped down the floorboard of my tent because it had gotten a little moist due to me running in and out, and it had been raining on and off all the entire time I was here up until the very last day, which this is crazy enough. But anyway, letting go can be vital to not only your mental health, but your physical health as well. So yesterday in my last video, y'all seen I went and got me some instant coffee. For some reason, this coffee was on the ethnic aisle, and something about it just made me curious. So I grabbed it. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, I tried this coffee and I didn't get to record it, but that shit is strong as HE double hockey sticks. I decided that I was probably just gonna stick to my Folgers instant coffee because that thing got me anxiety through the roof. Do you hear me? I definitely felt like I could probably build a house after drinking that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I was like jittery. But anyway, chronic stress due to abusive or toxic relationships can easily weaken your immune system and actually have been proven to cause or increase, I should say, a risk of heart disease. So it's not only vital for you and your peace, but it's genuinely vital for your actual physical health. Now, as you can see, if you didn't go watch my last video where I was showing how I made some beans on my little stovetop thing here, and I'm going ahead and get that pot cleaned out and get ready to start my breakfast here in a second. So I'm excited about that. Now, if you haven't, if you don't actually believe that toxic relationships can affect your mental health, let me be the first to give you a living testimony. I was going through a toxic relationship so bad that I literally started having blood pressure problems. My blood pressure was constantly 200 over 100 and something, and I was someone that never really had blood pressure problems other than after I had my daughter for a split second, which is actually pretty normal. Now, not only did I start having blood pressure problems and they wanted to put me on blood pressure medication because my blood pressure had gotten so high, decided to eat me a couple of little fruity fruits. You know, you got to get you a couple of fruit in. I really brought this fruit thinking that I was going to eat like a lot of it, and I honestly was not in a fruit mood when I got here. So I think next time I'm going to do apples and oranges and not something so complex like watermelons and mangoes and strawberries. I feel like I probably went too hard on that. But Yes, they were trying to put me on blood pressure medication because my blood pressure had constantly started going through the roof. My face had started breaking out so bad, and my acne had got so bad that like I genuinely was not. I looked like I had been just dipping my face in oil every day. I didn't understand why I couldn't get my face to stop breaking out. I stayed in a constant state of panic attacks and anxiety no matter what was going on because something was always liable to pop off. I was in a constant state of survival mode at its fullest extent, and it was absolutely insane to me looking back and realizing how peaceful it is to let go of something that was so detrimental to my health. Now, letting go can be hard because you have to grieve these people, whether they didn't actually pass away or were unalived, but they are no longer in your life, which is kind of really the same thing because in a sense you never need to see them again anyway. But we're finna get ready to get this kitchen. You see my little kitchen set up, my kitchen set up. I just thought this was super cute. I still think like overconsumption was a thing for me here because I really thought I needed all this and I really didn't need any of this. It's crazy for real. But you have to, like, you genuinely will go through the 5 stages of grief when you let go of a toxic relationship or family member or friend. You will go through the 5 stages of grief, which is actually something I plan to cover in one of my next videos. So make sure you're liking and subscribing. But I went ahead and brought us up out the tent, y'all, so we could go ahead and get ready to go up here and cook us some breakfast. You see my coffee hot, piping hot, baby. Piping hot, just like you, boo. Y'all just, baddies, handsomes, all that. But yeah, and this is the scenery on the way to the car. But as I said, grieving can be hard. Grieving someone you loved, grieving someone that you thought you was gonna have forever with, grieving a family member, a mother, a father. It can always be hard. I'm not saying that this isn't going to be hard. I'm not saying that you're gonna wake up and be like, you know what, they're bad for me, and I'm just gonna stop talking to them, and there will be no actual emotional repercussions towards that. You're gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna get angry. You're gonna get sad about having to let these people go because why couldn't they just do right? But at the end of the day, that is okay. You know, like, we still have to learn about that. Now, I went ahead and went to the laundromat because, like I said, this was my 3rd day here, and I had only planned to be here for 2. So, and I knew I had to wash some clothes, because, baby, I knew if I did too much content in the same outfits, y'all was going to eat me alive. Like, clock my tea real fast. So I went ahead and I wanted to show y'all I was washing clothes because I didn't want to hear nothing. Don't care. I didn't want to hear it. I washed the clothes because I washed my ass. All right. Now, anyway, but as I was saying, we still have to learn that we need to choose us before we choose them. We cannot continue to bend over backwards for people who genuinely don't even care about our well-being, because if they did, our mental health would be just as important. And we have to understand that. Now, I came back to the tent and took a nap. And when I woke up, y'all, look, it was sunny out here. And it felt good. I was actually very excited and kind of sad because this was my last day here. And I was like, but I had time to go ahead and try to go fishing. So I went ahead and tried to do that. Now, I did get to record me going fishing because, like I said, I've been battling not only my battery life, but my storage out here the entire 2 to 3 days. So I started giving up. I'm not gonna lie. I stopped trying to get all the content and just tried to get the important stuff. And luckily I did, because I am a bad fisher. I have no idea what I'm doing. And apparently somebody told me that I did not buy weight to go on my line. If you know anything about fishing, please comment under this video and tell me something. Help me. Put a link under that thing. I need something, y'all. Help me.
Help me. Help me. Help me.
But let me get back to the topic. Letting go is so important because we cannot continuously consume things that are bad for us and expect a good outcome. We cannot continue to sit around and eat junk food and think you're not going to gain weight. You cannot sit around and eat processed foods and not think that it's going to not affect your body. And it may be in small doses. It could be a small thing here or there, but eventually those things pile up. And what happens is you end up on the short end of that stick. Now, I got this little tackle box from Academy as well, and it came with like some bobbers and stuff. And then I bought some worms and stuff to go with it, like some fake ones, not no real ones. And I'm trying to go ahead and hook them on. But listen, like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. So here we are. I am having fun though. Like, the solitude here is amazing. Please make sure you're liking and subscribing, and go ahead and hit that little notification bell. That way you'll get a notification when I upload my next video, which will be my review of the campground and my overall experience and what I feel like I came back from that. I'm recording this voiceover maybe like a week or so after I got back. So, you know, I really had some time to reflect on what I really learned while I was out here for the last 3 days. So this is going to be a cool experience. Don't miss out. Now, I think I finally got that together. I went ahead and got this tackle box when I got my fishing rod from Academy. I think it was like $12, and it came with quite a few things in it, and bobbers, hooks, all that stuff. I still have no idea what I'm doing or why I need all these different hooks. So if you could tell me in the comments, that would be amazing as well. I have no idea what I'm doing. But let's talk a little bit about you guys. Like, tell me in the comments, like, what do you think about letting go? Have you had to let go of someone that you really deeply, truly had a connection with, or a family member that you didn't want to let go of? For me, it was my mom. I really had to let go of my mom before I decided that healing would be a thing. And then I went ahead and went to Walmart because I seen that fire pit from my last video. Y'all remember that? Yeah. I had to go look at the plants though, and they didn't have anything that I don't already have in my house. So I was like, whatever. But I came back to get this fire pit. Anywho, while we're walking to go get the fire pit and you watching me do all my little random things in Walmart, they had some cute bigger ones, but I was like, I really don't need that big of a one because usually it's either just gonna be me or one more person or just me and my daughter. So there was no reason to get that super duper huge one. But letting go of my mom was actually very hard, and to an extent, like, it still bothers me to this day. But as I heal from it, I understand that, you know, letting go of people who see nothing wrong with their actions when their actions actually hurt you or were detrimental to your well-being, then you really aren't losing anything by letting them go. And it's okay to be sad about that, because at the end of the day, you still do have to grieve these people, because that is going to be a part of the process of letting go. Grieving, you have to accept and recognize that and process it. But here is the fire pit, and I was super excited to get this back so I could try it. And I went ahead and I tried to do an unboxing video on here, but like I said, I've been battling storage, so here we are. That's me working it. Then I went ahead and put some coal in there. I was super excited about trying this thing out because I love fire pits and s'mores and all the suches. So, yeah, fire away, baby. Even letting go of the toxic relationship that I had currently came out of before I decided to go on this healing journey. Love me a good fire. Love me a good fire. I don't know. I thought that was like the wish it make. Did I do a good job? Y'all think I did a good job? Tell me in the comments. But honestly, letting go can take a lot. It'll take you getting down to your last straw and truly understanding that these people do not care, man. It really will. And hey, so even after I decided I needed some stuff from the dollar store, and I seen this phone mount, and I was like, ooh, content creation type vibes. So I went ahead and got it. And this is me trying it out with y'all for the first time, and back that thing up, back that thing up, back that thing up. And then this is a street view, and I thought this was really dope. I was like, oh, maybe I need to give me a dash cam at this point. Like, this is content creation heaven for me. Like, I have not been big on content creation, like accessories, but I think I'm gonna start getting into it because it's making life so much easier for me. But yeah, like, letting go can be hard. Like, it took me and my mom, I was, I think, 25 when I finally, 26 when I stopped talking to her, and we genuinely had got to, like, fish fighting and everything. So, you know, like, letting go, and that was, like, years before I let her, like, stop talking to her. So I'm just saying all that to say that sometimes it takes the worst happening in order for you to decide that this is no longer what is needed in your life, and that can be okay as well. Now, please, I'll decide that if you are in a unsafe relationship, to do your best to get out as safely as you can. And this is my setup of me with my fire pit, and then I decided that I was going to do salmon and the broccoli that I had, and I did me some s'mores. This is the fire pit. But this is the end of my video. I want to thank you all for being here, and thank you all for taking out the time to show my page support. If you or anyone you know are going through any type of mental health crisis, please use the resources I have provided here. Thank you so much for all the love, support, and kind messages. See you in the next video. Bye.